Hello, everyone. Welcome to Let's Talk AI. My name is Taylor Arndt, and I'm super glad that you guys are here. Today, we're going to be talking about chatbots, basically GPT, Copilot, Perplexity, all the different tools. And we have a question of the day. The question of the day is, what kind of AI chatbot tools do you guys use? I want to give an update about different topics. So I was taking all of your feedback and suggestions, and I am working on a few of them. And I should have a special topic for 2 weeks from now if everything goes according to plan. I won't give too many details now, but it should be a very awesome interview. So we will see how that goes, but I won't give you more details now. So just keep that in mind. 2 weeks could be an interview. And then today's topic is about chatbots. Again, question of the day is what kind of AI tools, chatbots, or GPT are the things you guys use. And let's start taking hands.
Ladon, you may unmute and go ahead.
Hello there. How you doing?
Hey, by the way, but I won't talk about that here.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. I'm doing. Okay. You want to know what kind of chat I use? I use ChatGPT Plus and Gemini.
All right.
Just a free
Yeah.
Gemini, and so it's very useful. I'm having a little trouble with ChatGPT because can I explain to you my problem, or do you want to go some other hands first? See what
Go
other
ahead.
people
Go
have
quick.
said.
If it's a
Okay.
quick question, yep, go
Okay.
ahead.
Yeah, it's quick. So when I open it, I'm in the edit box for, ask anything. And so I type my question and I press the return and it goes there and it says, I forgot the exact word. I will say it's thinking, but it isn't, it's thinking, it says, but it does it. It says it over and over for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes, sometimes a long time. And I think for ChatGPT Plus would like faster. If I'm on my phone and I'm in voice, it's just almost instant, and
Okay.
is that usual?
Thanks. Well, it depends on your model. Hold on a second. Okay. It depends on the model. So, like in ChatGPT, you have different like models. All right. So you've got the 4.0, which is like the everyday one.
Yeah,
So it could be, are you using like another model? Because sometimes it may think for a couple of minutes and it may take longer.
I think I'm on 4.0. I'm not sure. I tried to get 4.5. I thought that there was helps with writing better, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, they actually removed it as of.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's why I
I'll
couldn't
talk about
find
that
it.
real quick. Yeah, they removed it because basically they've just released GPT 4.1, which is, I know that's very confusing. That's actually not available in the interface. That's only for developers, but they did also release their O3 high, like their full model, and O4. So those are thinking models. So you may want to explore that. Also, maybe it's something with a cache, so reset your browser cookies and things. Those are all things that you could try.
Okay.
Or it could be slow connection on their servers, which is not in your control. So
Well, after I've done that, frequently, it'll again. So let's say that I've written a small poem, and I'm saying, "Can you help me word this a little more eloquently?" And it says chatting. Then it says, ChatGPT says, and it reads what this says to me. And then after that, after I hear what it says, I press a tab, and then I go to the top of the page and then look for copy so I can copy that, whatever it said. Sometimes it doesn't say that. Sometimes it doesn't read what it says. It says, what do you think about that? And then I cannot find it.
okay. In that case, what it's doing is it's actually kind of doing a test. So basically, what it's doing is it's comparing two different versions of ChatGPT. It's like, what response do you like better? In that case, what I recommend, there is no copy button a lot of times. I've had this a lot, and what I recommend just resubmitting. It likes to randomly ask you questions.
Okay. Thank you. Let
Thank
someone
you.
else talk then. I could talk about this all day, but I'll let someone else.
Yep.
Thank you.
No problem.
Vanessa, you may unmute and go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everybody.
Hey, Lily.
Hi. I'm kind of new to the ACB. I just started listening. I got this link, and so I just started listening to all these different things. Really great. But my question is, I have the Chat GPT, not the paid one, and I
The
used to
free?
be able to copy. I just swipe, and it gave me like the copy menu, but it's not doing that anymore. So I was just
Huh.
wondering, did you know why?
Are you on your iPhone or are you on like an
Yes,
iPad or
I'm on my iPhone. Yeah, and I used to swipe up,
interesting?
and it's not giving me copy because some things I want to send to people.
Ah, what you may need to try is like flick right. So it's not in the actions. I don't think, the voiceover actions. You may need to flick right because that sometimes happens. So you could look at that. There's different reasons sometimes it won't let you copy, as
Mm,
annoying it as it is. So try
mm,
those things. You have to restart the app, but definitely swipe right. Don't go
okay.
like up or down, but go right, and maybe there's a copy button or left or things like
Oh,
that because it can be in different places, and that's honestly very annoying.
okay. Well, I'll try that. Okay,
No
thank
problem.
you.
And Diane has someone in Clubhouse. Diane, go ahead.
All right.
Yes, I do. We have AJ. AJ, you can unmute.
Yeah. Hi, Dane. I've
Hello.
been using yep, hi. I've been using ChatGPT Plus and the free version of Cursor to develop .NET application. And
Oh
I
yeah.
find yeah, and I find Cursor is more accurate with the coding, and ChatGPT Plus tends to not give accurate responses. I don't know why.
Okay. Okay. What I'm gonna do is, yes, I will quickly go on to this, but I don't want to go too technical because this audience isn't very technical. But yeah, Cursor, for those who don't know, is for like coders, and it just all depends. Each of these tools are configured differently. But if you want to talk developer stuff, I'm always willing to do that. You can reach out to me through community, and we can talk shop about developer stuff.
Yep, thank you.
Welcome.
Allie, you may unmute. Go ahead.
I wanted to suggest sometimes when it asks that question about, which response do you like better? I think sometimes you could respond to like just write back basically and say the first one or the second one to give
Yes,
it that feedback. You can handle it that way as well.
you can. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a rush and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta get this post out or I gotta do this for work. And I don't have time to deal with it, right? So I agree with you. And that's what I do a lot of times. But yes, if you can
Yeah.
ignore it if you're like in a huge rush.
Yeah.
Dion, you may unmute and go ahead.
I finally got to the mute button. How's everybody?
No problem.
So I just wanted to see if I can add something that might be helpful for two things that were mentioned. Number one, regarding the Chat GPT problem that the gentleman mentioned earlier, um, where it says it's still working on the item. I found that all of a sudden, because I was an early adopter of ChatGPT, so I've seen it kind of go through the different iterations. I use the free version.
Oh, so was I.
Yeah. And so what I noticed, again, I use it mostly on my phone, but I do use it on the desktop. But here's what I found on the phone. When this new recording started coming on, or this new message that says it's still searching or it's still thinking, what I did was I just swiped through and the answer was there. So it was
Yep,
telling me that it was still looking for it. And the first couple of times I was like, what's taking you so long? That was like 5 minutes ago. And then I finally figured out, well, let me just swipe through and see what's going on. And the answer was right there. So that's the
that can
first.
happen.
Yeah. So, and then the other comment was about finding the copy button. And again, many of us are probably on the same page that, they always want to make changes on these apps. And oftentimes the changes make things harder to find, not easier. And so here's an example of that. So the way to find so again, I'm on an iPhone, so I don't know if somebody might have a different experience on an Android, but on the iPhone in ChatGPT's free version, if you want to copy, instead of doing it the previous way, that was pretty easy. Now you press and hold, and then a context menu will come up, and then you can select copy, but you press
That's
and hold.
interesting.
Yeah. So try that.
Yeah.
And that's what worked for me, because I use it a lot for work, and I'm trying to copy and paste a lot of things and send it to
Oh, me
myself.
too.
Yeah, and all of a sudden I'm like, where's the copy button now? So I
Yeah,
finally did
I
the press
agree.
and hold, and it popped up.
That's a great thing. And I've had it even where if I press and hold, that doesn't work either. So, honestly, y'all, it depends on the day and depends on the interface. Like sometimes
Yeah,
you'll get an Easter egg that you got to find the copy button. I
right.
mean, no joke, they change it 3 to 4 times a week, the interface. So, yeah,
Yep.
that's that.
Yep.
But good suggestions, either way.
Right now, you have no hands.
Any in Clubhouse?
Nope.
Okay. Definitely issue. Yeah, I mean, it's the ChatGPT interface is one of the most complicated for sure because they have all these new features and 70 to 80%, maybe 90% are not even accessible.
Ladon has his hand raised again. Ladon, you may
All
go
right,
ahead.
go ahead.
Okay, and you may not be ready for this, but I understand that you can, on the iPhone, start GPT voice
Oh yeah.
and then give it access to your camera so that you can
Oh,
talk to it just like you can with Be My Eyes. Except
oh yeah.
Be My Eyes is text generated, and if you put it in voice and do it, so do you know how to do it? Because I don't know how to give it to the camera.
Yeah. So what you do, I'm gonna pull up my phone so I can make sure I give you the right directions. So we'll say so you start the voice first, then I'll say like show camera or open camera. Let me actually find that real quick without starting voice. I use this actually a lot. So hold on, let me look at this one real quick. Okay, so I go open ChatGPT, and then I find voice, and then I okay, there we go. So switch to voice, and then after that, make sure it doesn't talk at me. Then you're gonna go to open video camera.
How do you find that? Open video.
So basically, I open the chat, and then I swipe left, and there's different buttons like mute audio, which I'm gonna do right now. Flip camera to rear, so by default it's the front face camera, and then choose voice. So does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, and yes, the ChatGPT video mode is actually really helpful because the other day I used it inside of Walgreens because my Meta Ray Bans were dead, and it actually works really good. So. All right.
Okay, iPhone, you may unmute, let us know who you are, and then go ahead, please.
Oh, hello, everybody. It's Becky.
Hey, Becky.
Hello.
So, I was in another conference, but I got out of it. But I have a silly question about artificial intelligence because I never used it. But my question is, if I had to, could I use it to find a particular person? If I knew
Okay.
a name, phone number, that kind of thing.
Okay. So I'm going to say that you
Or
can't.
am I barking up the wrong tree?
No, I mean you can use it you don't want to do anything unethical with it, right? But you can be able to look up things, in a directory, right? But you don't want to actually try to do unethical things. But let's say you're trying to find, I don't know, Like you just had a new employer and you're trying to find your boss's phone number,
Oh,
right? That'd be a good use of AI, right?
oh,
But you don't want to just find some random person's phone number on the internet with no reason. Does that make sense? Like you want to be ethical
well, hold
about
on one
it.
second. Hold on one second. There we go. My phone was
Okay,
I didn't mean to. You were yakking and my voiceover was going off.
I get it. I get it.
So I had to shut the voiceover off so I could. No, I wasn't meaning that. I wouldn't use it for unethical things. There was
Right.
somebody. No, I wouldn't. There's a particular person I want to find, but I mean, I know his first and last name, but I don't have a phone number on him, and I wanted to
Yeah,
look him
again,
up.
that can vary. Just like I said, use AI. You can try, but I'm not going to guarantee anything. But it is possible because you can have AI search the web for you and search things like that. But again, I
Oh yeah, of
wouldn't.
course I wouldn't. Yeah, I.
Right. I just always have to say the responsibility part of AI because that's a big thing. You want to make sure you use it responsibly. So,
Of course, and I know I'm gonna try to do that with the camera. Since I came in kind of late because I was on another conference and I didn't mean to.
that's okay.
so so how would I get to it from my iPhone?
Get to the camera.
No, get to the AI. I was in another conference. That's why I came in late.
Okay. So you can start with like ChatGPT and you can download the ChatGPT app and create a free account. And then there's a switch to voice mode. And then you can be able to use the camera there. If you want to
Chat
reach
V.
out to me outside of community, because I want to make sure everybody has a chance, but if you want to reach out to me through community@acb.org, we can talk more offline if you have more questions.
Oh
And if
yeah.
you want to
So
add more specific things.
no, I will. So GBT, is it Golf Bravo Tango?
Yes, GPT. Yes,
Oh,
chat
PT. Okay.
GPT.
GPT, is that and that I'm assuming that's a free app.
Yes, so it's written by OpenAI and it's the most popular AI
Okay. Yeah,
software.
I'll reach out to you more on community at ACB. Okay.
Sounds good.
But sorry I came in late. Sorry.
No problem. No problem.
Okay.
All right. Diane has another person on Clubhouse.
Yes, I do. It's Music Girl. Music Girl.
Diane, can you hear me?
Yes.
We
It's
can hear you.
Rachel. Music girl, Rachel, whatever you want to call me.
Okay.
Hi, Taylor. I have a question for you about the Chat GPT. I have been hearing also about the something called Chatbot, um, where if you put your contacts in it, people can disguise your voice. Like you can send a voice memo. Like I could send a voice clip of you and then call you and pretend that it's you. Do you know anything about this? I mean, I've heard horror stories about this
I
happening.
do not. And what I will say is again, be careful. Don't use AI tools like you don't trust. And don't, again, always be trusting but verify. I have no idea about this and I don't want to know about this now.
I don't either. I just heard about it and I guess somebody pretended that they were their daughter, somebody's daughter, I guess. It was on the news recently. And I'm like,
Okay.
okay,
I don't know
not
about it.
good.
But definitely, stay careful, make sure you trust everything, but then you verify it. Everything in AI is not always true. Remember the hallucination. So trust but verify is my best recommendation and don't do things that could be risky.
I try to be so careful. I mean, even with like phone calls that come in, I just
Oh
verify
yeah.
the numbers or ignore. I mean, you have to be so careful and it's sad. Very
Yep.
sad. Okay, I just wasn't sure if you were aware of it, but all
Well,
right.
thank you. Hopefully I could help.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, Diane.
Area code 303 ending in 935. If you can unmute, let us know who you are and go ahead.
Yes, my name is Petra, and I wanted to say that the lady who called before this last lady, when she was asking about GPT, she asked if it was Golf Bravo Tango. And you said yes, and it's Golf
Oh,
Papa Tango.
I'm sorry. I heard P instead of B, so my sincere
No,
apologies.
she said Bravo.
Oh,
So
I heard
if
P.
she's
instead
looking
of
for
B.
it, she may not find it.
Yeah, it's GPT. I sincerely apologize. I misheard.
And did you
And
say
the other thing I'd
Tetra?
like to say is yes,
I'm sorry, did you
definitely
say
verify, because I used the Meta glasses and it told me that my German Shepherd was a Yorkie.
Yeah.
did
And
you say
when I
Tetra or
said,
Petra?
I talked back to it and I said, it's definitely not a Yorkie, it's a German Shepherd. It came back and said, oh, don't apologize, I was wrong. Sorry, yes, the dog is definitely a German Shepherd. But
Okay.
a Yorkie and a German Shepherd are certainly different dogs.
Okay.
Stacy,
Oh, what were you
you
doing?
may go ahead.
Go ahead.
Hi. Yes, there are. I wanted to say there are apps out there which can mimic other people's voices. So be aware, and be careful.
Oh, yes.
And right now you have no raised hands
Okay.
and no
Yeah,
Clubhouse.
so no Clubhouse either?
Nope.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to start with chat, I'll just quickly say this a minute and then we'll take more hands. If you want to use ChatGPT, it's GP, so P is in Papa T, so not Bree. I really apologize. So that is an easy way to get started with AI. And it's very, it's free. And you can also access ChatGPT on your iPhone if you have an iPhone that will support it. And you also can have Apple Intelligence for an iPhone 15 and above. Any more hands?
Yes. Area code 434 ending in 390. You can unmute and let us know who you are and go ahead.
Hi, this is my first time on this call. It's so interesting. I use Be My AI a lot with Be My Eyes and love it very much. And I don't think I've had some interesting things happen, kind of like she did with the German Shepherd and the Yorkie. But it was always so obvious that it was wrong. I was like, no, let's try again. But I also use ChatGPT, the low tech way. You can actually, there's a telephone number you can call.
Yep.
And
there is.
yeah, and as I was beginning to come on, I was like, Chris, you could have memorized this, you could have given it out. But anyway, I think everyone here is using the app and everything. So anyway, they're more technological than I am. But I was able, yes, yeah, it is. But it does work for bird watching. I heard a bird. I didn't know what it was. I'm pretty good at some of the sounds. And I called and did the sound, and she told me what the bird was, and I looked it up, and I was like, yeah, I think that's right.
Awesome.
I'm gonna look it up.
That's a good use.
Yeah, it works. It's very good for bird watching. Extremely good for bird watching. If you want to know, yeah, it is very limited. But I really enjoyed it. I have a blind cell phone, and eventually I'm sure I'll be able to, particularly when I get to 3, and as the 3 kind of moves along, I'll be able to do it with an app also down the road. But right now, I'm just thrilled to have it and want to become familiar with it and careful with it, but enjoy it, because I'd rather learn to use it than have it learn to use me. So that's kind of, because I got a friend who's afraid of AI. I don't want to do it. I said, Kim, I'd rather learn to use it than have it learn to use me. So anyway, That's my story. I'm sticking to it, and I'm going to let the next person talk now.
That's awesome. Everybody should learn to use AI. I mean, there's a stat right now that if you're, going for employment, the number one skill or one of the number one skills besides all the like soft skills and other things is AI proficiency. So you guys are at the right place if you want to learn more about AI.
Matthew, you may unmute and go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yep.
can hear you.
Okay, I was just I kind of came in late, and I'm hearing
It's all
individuals talk about their use of AI. Is that what the topic is, or is there something that I missed?
Yeah, the topic is like using like ChatGPT and like chatbots, like AI tools, things like that. We also have a question of the day, which is like what kind of AI tools like chatbots or things do you use, like ChatGPT or others. So
Okay.
that's kind of what we're doing
Okay,
today.
yeah, I'm a big user of ChatGPT, especially at work.
Oh
I do
yeah, me too.
accessibility testing for a university. So when I'm getting when I'm looking at images or pictures that don't have the alt text, I'll use it just to get an idea of what's there. But in those instances, I'm actually using the JAWS Picture Smart AI
And that's still AI. So
aspect of that because it's right there for me.
oh yeah,
The chat GPT is very, very good when I'm going through quizzes. If I don't necessarily need to know the answer, but just because I'm trying to be a smarty, I'll go and put the question into ChatGPT and get the answer. And I thought that was
make sure you
pretty
know how to answer it
cool.
first.
Say again?
Well, I guess you're a university employee, so like you're not like actually a student, but like make sure you know how to answer it like first before you like try to, you know.
Oh, I'm talking about like multiple choice question answers type thing. In
Ah,
that instance is what I use it for. I mean, I don't have to get the answer right because I'm just going through the quiz to check the
right,
accessibility
right, right.
aspect
But
of
yeah,
it.
it's always good to
But
learn.
sometimes I
Yeah.
like to learn something just because I'm curious of the answer
Oh,
because
I do
maybe I didn't
too.
read, and then Access AI from IRA. I haven't. One thing I haven't experienced through them is the hallucination, which I hope I don't. Some of the times, one of the things it's really good at is I use it a lot for like looking at shirts, shorts, my garments and type things, maybe to read. If I pull something out of the refrigerator, if I'm not sure, my sister, I live in a household of four of us, and there's sometimes two or three different types of milk in there, and so they all fill
I'm
the same
sure.
kind of a carton. So I'll use like Access AI for that. It'll read me, what carton it is and things of that nature, which is really, really cool. Um, also when I'm out and about, when my wife and I, she's visually impaired, and so to get signs or to get pictures of the Uber car that's coming to make sure we're getting in the right vehicle.
Oh yeah, there's always a good use for that too.
This kind of thing, it's pretty helpful and using. I think the one key thing that we all need to remember about AI, especially the generative AI, is that it's only as good as the information we feed it.
Yes,
You feed bad information, it's going to give you bad results. So
it is definitely
the more
true.
good we add to it, the better off it'll be for everybody. Um, so yeah, and one thing I like about ChatGPT is like I think I used it to try to figure out something how to do in Microsoft Outlook or Word, and it really gives you step by step, bullet point by bullet point explanation. So it's really good for that. I heard it was really good on the cell phone. The app was really, really blind friendly, is what I've heard, and so. I don't use it that much one in my personal life all the time, more so than I do for work. But yeah,
Sounds good.
that's my experience with it. So thanks for letting me
All right.
share.
Yeah, real quick.
Mhm.
I'll just
Yes,
add
ma'am.
little things on that real quick. So there's definitely a lot of things that are able to be used with ChatGPT and AI. It's definitely really cool to use, and there's new updates every single week, y'all. Like if you like follow and keep up with it, there's like AI stuff every single week. There's new news. So anyway, Yeah, great use of AI. Definitely, it seems like you're well versed in, Michael and I have a saying, garbage in, garbage out. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. So thank you
sounds
again. Have a
good.
great day. Uh-huh.
Have a great day.
Dion, you may unmute and go ahead.
Okay. Couple quick things. Um, I in order for me to take advantage of the great advice that's given, whether it's on this call or others, I try to write everything down. I wanted to write down that camera feature that you all mentioned. I've
Yeah.
never come across that. So, would it be more feasible? Can you email those instructions rather than taking up the time on the call right now? I want to respect everybody's time. Is it possible we could do that?
Well, we can't, like I said, you can reach out to community. I can do that, but then also this will be, I believe, podcasted on the community and on my YouTube channel. So I will have like a transcript. I'll have a description. So if you in the schedule, you should find the link to my YouTube. And so probably a
Okay.
couple of days after this, once I get the recording, it will be added, and then the description, the instructions for the camera will be in the YouTube description, so you could just get it from there.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna probably put it on my podcast at some point, but my YouTube gets updated first, so hopefully that helps.
Okay, and what is the name of your YouTube channel?
You can search for Taylor, Taylor, Arndt. It's also on your Tuesday daily schedule that they sent out yesterday. So
Oh, okay. It's on there. Okay. All right. I
yeah,
will check that.
yeah,
And the other
and
thing,
all these calls are gonna be added to there. So you get, if you miss one, don't worry, it's gonna be on my YouTube channel.
okay, awesome. Thank you. And the other thing I wanted to
Welcome.
you guys mentioned a very critical thing, that garbage in, garbage out, and
Yep.
better information you put into your prompt, the better answers you'll get. And also keep in mind that you can go back multiple times and tweak your question. So I found
Oh yeah.
the more you do that, again, the better the results. And I came across a little model that you're probably already aware of. Many of you may have already heard of this, but there's a little system called RIPE, RIPE. It's an acronym for getting good results through your prompts. Are you familiar with that?
No, tell everybody more because we're,
Sure.
I'm curious now.
Okay, so there's variations on it, and this isn't the only one, but this is one that I use. Again, RIPE. It's an acronym for R stands for role. So I'll give an example. I'm going to be doing some grant writing, so I'm doing some research. Okay, so when I put in the prompt, the R is for role, ROLE. So I want to tell ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever, Claude, whatever I'm using. I want to tell it that my role is I'm a grant writer. Okay. So that's the
Yep.
R. Number two, the information that you're looking for. So I want to find out all of the grants that are being offered in the Tampa Bay area currently that are between $10,000 and $50,000 annually. Okay, that's the information I'm looking for. And you could also put the format you want that information in. So you could tell it, give me a bulleted list, give me an Excel spreadsheet, give me a Word document, or however you want to get the information. And then the P is for the parameters. So, for example, the parameters might be, I'm only looking for grants in the Tampa Bay area, or I'm looking for the entire state of Florida. So, whatever boundaries you might have within your
Wow.
request.
Okay.
Okay. And then lastly, and this is optional, but again, the more info you put in, the better you get as far as answers. Lastly, is E is for example. So, for example, if you're looking for something and you've seen a particular format or you've seen something similar, you can copy it and paste it right into the text field and say, use this as an example. Okay. And it will do just that. It will say, okay, I'm going to use this as an example. And you can also click the attachment button if you have an example as well. So it's RIPE, role, information, parameters, and example.
Wow, I'm gonna have to save this. I thank you. I just wrote all this down because this is really helpful, and hopefully that helped y'all because I think this changed the way prompting. But
Yeah.
thank you so much. Really
Yeah. You'll
appreciate
see
it.
a difference. If you start using that, you'll see a difference in your results. It'll be much more detailed and much more tailored to what you're looking for.
That's really cool. Thank you for all the insights.
Mhm.
And right now you have no hands, no one in Clubhouse.
All right. Well, if you guys have questions or you can raise your hands. We still have a little bit of time left, so you guys should ask questions. If you can't find my YouTube, again, it's Taylor TaylorArndt. Best way to find it though is on the schedule. It will say sponsored by Taylor Arndt YouTube, and there's a link there so you guys can watch my videos or subscribe or things like that, so you guys can know when these come and things like that. So hopefully that was able to help in case you guys missed one of these weeks. So, any more hands?
Yes, you now have 2 more hands.
All right, let's go.
Greg, you may unmute and go ahead.
Yeah, that last example seemed kind of nice. Now, do you just separate things by a comma? This comma, that comma, that comma. How do you put stuff in so that it gets, the example, it knows all the different parameters, example. Do you separate everything by a comma, or how does that work?
So what I
doesn't
do,
matter.
sorry.
It
Yeah, it doesn't
doesn't matter.
matter.
It's been designed that, for example, if you type in a request to ChatGPT and you misspell half the words, it'll still give you the result. It'll
Oh yeah.
itself, so it doesn't matter. And I've played around with it. You can put a nice, pretty list of what all you want, or you can make it one long run-on sentence. You'll still get the same result.
You will.
LaDon, you may unmute and go ahead.
Yeah, I'm back, and I say that this AI stuff that's coming on, if I were young, I would learn as much as I can about that. If you were gonna work, you better know something about AI, and you do it by learning. Also, I'm an old person, and I'm not going to be working, so I use it for fun, and I use it for education. Like I might tell it I'm trying to write and I want to help writing, so use it as a writing partner. But it also can be just for fun. What the heck? Just for fun. So I go Gemini, and I might ask it for uh, uh, King Henry VIII. What were his wife's names? Tell me about Catherine, his first wife. Tell me about Anne Boleyn. How tall was she? How much did she weigh? Did she have friends? Did she have any brothers? You can just talk to it, and when you at least this is the way I do it on the phone in voice mode. And I put it in voice mode, and you can just talk to it. I ask it a sport question, Gemini. I asked a sports question. I said, could you know up to date, right today's, and talk about hallucinations? It gave me the wrong answer. And I said, no, that's not right. And it says, oh, yes, it is. I said, no, that's not right. I know it's, and I gave it the answer that I knew was right. And I said, how did you know that? It asked me, how did you know that? Where'd you get that from? And I had to tell them, well, I looked at, at different websites. So I just had an argument with that. I mean, I'm sitting there for 5-6 minutes arguing with AI. So it can be fun, and it understands what you're saying, just like you and I are talking. It'll talk back to you. It doesn't make you don't know question, semicolons, commas, periods, nothing. You just talk to it, especially if you put voice on. You can talk like you and I are talking today, and it can be a lot of fun. Anything you want to know about, you ask like how old was Anne Boleyn when she was executed, or
That's
Harry the
it's really great.
yeah, and to use it for fun too, and that way you will learn.
And I use it so like a tip that I learned this past week, use it to kind of help you get your day motivated, right? Have like a daily stand up. I mean, of course I use this because I'm working, right? I'm like, okay, here's what I got to do for the day. How should I approach it? There's a course on LinkedIn Learning if you have access to it. It's called like an AI first mindset. And I watched that yesterday, or I think yesterday. And it talked about like all these different ways you can incorporate AI into your life. It was a really cool course, but yeah, definitely there's a lot of things you can do with AI and keep learning about it. That's what I recommend. All right.
Greg, you may unmute and go ahead.
Yeah, I got here a little late. I had a dog to take care of, so I got here a little late. But one thing, I don't know if you mentioned this or not, but you got live AI on your glasses now, so you can just go out there and ask it, is this there, is that there? And if it tells you something, so was there a car out there? Oh, there is one. And you can just work with it. It'll get better over time. You're actually just talking to the AI, through your Meta Ray-Ban glasses, and it's just telling you everything
Yes.
around. And you can ask it different questions. How far away is this? Oh, it's close, or it's this far. You can push it, for an estimate of how far the car is. Is there a car there? There's something on the sidewalk,
I like
whatever.
Live AI.
You're really interacting with the AI. So
You are.
it's kind of neat to work with it that way. I just thought I'd mention that. I didn't know if it'd come up before or not, but if you have Meta
Um,
Ray-Ban glasses, try it.
yeah, I've
So
met a Ray-Ban glasses and it
yeah.
came up well, it came up a couple weeks ago, but yeah, definitely good to bring up again. We even brought that up today, but Live AI is great. Unfortunately, Meta does not like me and I still can't get access to it, so I'm gonna be figuring that out later today because it like keeps me on the old version of the experience. Everybody else has it. But anyway, that's a whole other conversation for another day. But yeah, Live AI is awesome.
Right now, you have no more hands and nobody in, and you have nobody in Clubhouse.
All right. Well, you know what I will say is that if you haven't tried the Meta Ray Bans, you guys should get them. I use them a lot, and even I use them to like film videos occasionally. So Meta Ray Bans are probably one of the best things that I'd recommend buying. We had an episode a couple weeks ago on wearables. You guys should check that out because we talked about wearables and how to use Meta glasses and Envision and comparing the two. And I think that will should be on my YouTube channel. I had a little issue with my video editing software, but anyway, any more questions?
No questions.
All right. Well, let's see.
Oh, now you have another hand.
All right.
Greg, you may go ahead.
Yeah, I don't mean to monopolize the call, but you talked about having Envision. They have different AI. So comparing that to the Ray-Ban Meta, you've heard about them both. Is one better than the other in terms of AI, how it works, or I didn't know because I haven't
Oh,
experienced it.
good question. I'll quickly answer that. Yeah, so I basically compared the Meta Ray-Ban between like the Envision glasses. I didn't even compare like the Alley or whatever because I haven't tried it. What I will say is that the Envision glasses are more blindness focused. So if you want it to identify people, you need the Envision glasses, right? If you don't care about that and you just want to help, use the AI features and you just want sunglasses that are or glasses that look good and are a lot more affordable, I recommend Meta Ray-Bans. I actually had a pair of Envisions, and unfortunately, the frames, like the less expensive part, decided that they were going to snap off in the mall one day, and yeah, they were never to be seen again. And they're not very sturdy. Of course, the hotspot connection was spotty. So, if you want instant solution, but maybe you don't need all the like blindness specific features, I recommend the Meta Ray Bans. But if you need more of that kind of thing, and you maybe have a bigger budget, then I recommend the Envisions.
No questions. Nobody in Clubhouse.
All right. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of AI tools. It's just knowing which one is right for you. I'll quickly say what I use. So I use Claude for coding. We talked about that a little bit earlier. And then I use GPT as like just random, other AI stuff. And then I use Perplexity on occasion when I have to do a lot of like research. I don't pay for Perplexity. I use Zoom AI Companion when I'm doing notes for meetings. I use, let's see what other things. I use Google Gemini for work. So did you know if you have a Gmail account, you can literally have Google Gemini search through your emails? I was trying to find the Zoom link for today's meeting, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know where it is. So I went to Gemini. I'm like, hey, search my email for, I don't know, ACB Community Tuesday schedule. It brought it right up, and I was able to find the email. So those are kind of the tools that I use on a daily basis. And yeah, I just wanted to give that insight so people kind of knew what I used. Any hints?
Yes, Dion, you may you go ahead. You may go ahead. You are muted.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
So two quick things. We talked about using multiple apps, and one thing I found was I was just going crazy on ChatGPT, finding all kinds of good stuff when I was doing some
Oh
research,
yeah.
and it shut me off. It said, you
Oh,
exceeded your either daily,
oh,
weekly
yeah.
allotment. I was like, oh wow, okay. I said, boy, that's a good way to get you to pay. But I said, so what I started doing is I started using Gemini for like everyday stuff because I can just go crazy on that. There's no limits that I've bumped up against. And then I save the good stuff for ChatGPT because for what I do, I found I get slightly better results with ChatGPT. The other thing, again, ChatGPT has an advantage in that it gives you better results for certain things. Um, but getting back to Gemini, uh, Gemini does not talk to you immediately the way GPT does, and I really, really enjoy that feature. You have to search to get to the answer or get to the button that will read the answer aloud in Gemini, and with GPT, it's automatic. So,
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate, but
yeah, they
yeah.
need to fix that. That's pretty easy to fix, and I don't know why. If they see GPT does it, why didn't they just adapt that? Because they've adapted numerous things from each other. But that was that's what I found. So if you bump up against a limit on GPT, and another advantage of Gemini is that you're going to get immediate results. So if you want to know something that happened yesterday, ChatGPT
Yes.
cannot tell you anything that happened after 2001. I forget what month it is, Taylor. Do you remember the month? Like March of 2021?
Well, I think it's June, but let's talk about that for a second because it's actually increased. But the other thing you can do is have it search the web because if you search the web, it can give more accurate information.
Right, right.
I think it's June 2024 now, or it's in 24. They actually changed it. But the other thing, like you can actually use Gemini Live. So if you try that, and so you have to be in a personal account. You can't use your corporate account. Oh, I was so mad about that. But you can't use your corporate account. You go to your Gemini app. It says go live. It cannot use the camera except if you're on an Android phone, and you can talk to it almost like you can with ChatGPT.
Right, right. But I'm saying like if you just type a prompt
Oh
in
yeah,
and it will give you an answer, but it will you will not get it audibly. You will only get it
it
at
will. No, it will not. But
yeah.
yeah, there is a voice mode there for people if they want to try it. So,
Right.
and
You have to
students
activate it.
can, you can, yeah, and students in US and Canada, I think, or US can get Gemini with their EDU email addresses for the remaining of this school year and next school year. So, if you're a student, you can get free Gemini. You should check that out.
Awesome. Yeah, with ChatGPT, when you put in an answer, your phone is going to start talking to you and you don't
Oh
have to
yeah,
update anything else. I love that
nope,
feature.
I do too. But I use Gemini a lot too, so it's kind of a win-win. But I mean, but yeah, good insights there.
And the deep search feature on Gemini is really good too. So if you're looking for
It
something,
is.
really want to go deep on the Queen of England or whatever, I've used it a couple times and it only takes a few extra minutes, but you get a lot more information.
But be careful. You only get 10 a month.
See, I didn't know that. I
Be
did not
careful.
know
Yep.
that. I'm going to make a note of that. Thank you for that, Taylor. 10 a month.
You're
I'll
welcome.
watch it. So I probably have 9 in already.
Yeah, be careful.
Okay. All right.
At
Thanks.
least it depends on what plan you have. But if you're paying, I think the personal plan 10 a month, and I think the workspace plans you get 10 also. But then if you pay, I'm not exactly sure, but still 10 a month, I think. So just be careful.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Welcome.
And you have no hands and nobody in Clubhouse.
Okay. Well, let's see how much time we have left. I think we have 10 minutes till, right?
You have 10 minutes till exactly.
All right, so we have room for a couple more questions. So you guys, if we want to get your questions in, we have room for a couple more, and then we'll, be over. So get them in now before the time runs out.
LaDon, There's another question. Dawn, you may unmute
Go
and go ahead.
I don't come on unless there's no other hands raised, you know. But
Understandable.
but talk about prompts. If you do prompt and you're looking for a certain information, like the gentleman was talking about a while ago, telling exactly what you wanted with that recipe that he had, you could even go and tell it what you want and say, improve this prompt for me. I am looking for it said to give me a better prompt. And it'll even tell you how to prompt itself. And then
It
you
will,
could go,
yes. That's actually one of the biggest tricks. So real quick, I started doing 3D printing. That has nothing to do with it, but has something to do with AI and prompts. So I actually make all my 3D models with AI, which is a whole other topic I won't get into unless later. But so I make all my 3D models with AI. And so I literally prompt it, and then basically I give the prompt and I kind of teach the other LLM who's making the models how it's supposed to be done. And so I'm literally using 2 models and like simultaneously. It's a whole different thing. But yeah, prompting is definitely very important. It will help get the results that you want.
yeah. I say use it for fun too. And if you
Oh,
more use
I
it
use
for
it for
fun,
fun too.
you'll more use it fun, you'll know how to use it for work. Yeah.
I use it fun and work and everything. I try to use it, to automate my life. That I love automation. So, all right. Any questions? Final questions, y'all?
Mm, no questions? Nobody on Clubhouse.
Okay. We have 8 minutes left, so we want to try to, I'm gonna try to make this an hour. So 8 minutes left. I mean, we can leave a little bit before, but I want to make sure, no last questions. So, is there any more questions, or it seems
No
like
more
everybody?
hands. No hands. Nobody on Clubhouse.
I think, unless I'm going once, going twice. I think this will be it for today, unless we have final questions. Get them in now. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let's head out. Thank you, everybody.
All right. And I will close out the room for everyone.